I wanted to say about the census on caste-wise. These caste-wise census were conducted by the UPA government in 2011. That time, there was enormous demand from the BC leaders, from Sarvasri Mulayam Singh Yadav, Lalu Prasad ji, Mayawati, Nitish Kumar ji, all. They demanded caste-wise census inside the parliament and also outside the parliament. But Mr. Manmohan Singh finally conceded to their demand and announced in the parliament that yes, he will conduct the BC census, that is caste-wise census. Accordingly, they conducted the caste-wise census in 2011, and thereafter, unluckily, the BJP government headed by Mr. Narendra Modi has come into power, and they were not willing to publish this on the pretext that there are number of lakhs of mistakes in the caste-wise census. So Mr. Arun Jaitley in the parliament, he has declared that there are number of mistakes, lakhs of mistakes, and after due correction of those mistakes, BJP government will publish the caste-wise census. Thereafter, they did not do it. They said in 2018, Mr. Rajnath Singh, that yes, they will conduct the caste-wise census in 2021. Okay. Now 2021 has come. Now they have gone back on their own words, on their own promises. Why? Because they feel that by conducting the caste-wise census, the BCs will come to know what is their exact figures throughout the country. And then the demand will arise that the reservations are to be increased in all the sectors, in all the fields. As per the judgments of the Supreme Court, because in umpteen number of judgments, Supreme Court has given that if the caste-wise census is there, they can bridge, they can cross over the 50% reservations limited by them. So that was the cause actually, reason why BJP do not want to conduct the caste-wise census, because they have to increase the reservations accordingly and the demand will come from the BCs. Being the largest section in the country with 52% population, they can turn the tide of the governments. They can definitely, if they vote together, they can defeat any government and they will form their own government. This is why, this is the cause which worried the BJP and they don't want to do this caste-wise census. So what we thought, being the Prime Minister from backward classes, Mr. Narendra Modi will conduct the caste-wise census and do much favor to the backward classes, which they have lost. The injustice done to the backward classes since 70 years will be undone and he will do the justice. But unfortunately, Narendra Modi, what we expected, he did not do it. He only did statutory status to NCBC, National Commission for Backward Classes, in 2018. By that, they have drumbeaten the subject throughout the country and they again succeeded to form their own government in 2019. So he should realize, at least, see, whom you are not considering, your own brothers, your own blood, your own BC brothers, your own BC blood. So, Mr. Narendra Modi, I request you kindly to do the census and declare that census. Otherwise, what happens, even Mr. Ramakrishnaya, myself, I am definitely a sympathizer to the BJP from the very beginning. Not even from the Janasangh days I was sympathizer, but even myself I will go against you people against BJP and canvass against you totally, because it is not that. See, we are not interested to that because you are from backward classes, I must support you. It is not like that. The man who does good to the backward classes, we will only support him, and we will only see that he is elected in the 2024 elections. And without census, caste-based census, how could you, what is the use of farming, appointing Justice Rohini Commission for subcategorization of 27% of reservations in the central sector, union sector, for OBCs? What is the necessity? What is the use? You tell me. Without caste-based census, Justice Rohini will subcategorize the 27% reservations? It cannot. It is impossible to do that. You must know that, being a Prime Minister. And you are only for this purpose, you are avoiding. Why you are avoiding? Because I am telling you one thing. In 1993, when the reservations were announced by Mr. V.P. Singh in 27% in employment, only in employment, there was hue and cry from the BJP side. And even 2008, when Mr. Arjun Singh has introduced the bill, there was a hue and cry by the BJP. I know that. I am well aware of it. So, this is the reason. Because the Supreme Court has given, if the caste-based census are there, and if the percentage of the caste-based census increases with reference to the caste-based census, you can overbreadth the reservations, limited to 50% by the Honorable Supreme Court. There are umpteen number of judgments on this. You can cross over 50%. And that's what Tamil Nadu did it. Karnataka, even though they have got the Congress government, UPA government released 1,100 crores for census, caste-based census, but they did it only for SC, STs, and BCs also they did it, but they did not submit the statistics in the Supreme Court in WP number 356 of 1994, which announced on 11th May of 2010. And there they clearly said that they don't have statistics of caste-based census. So that's why they were brought down to 50%, whereas Tamil Nadu said that they have caste-based census, they submitted to Supreme Court, therefore their reservations to the extent of 69% was upheld by the Supreme Court. So this is the history background. So Mr. Narendra Modi, I request you, being an honorable Prime Minister, you are doing so many things, but not able to control the prices, rising prices. You have said on 22/9/2014, 22/9/2013, I think, that you have criticized Manmohan Singh for rising prices. And you said, how can poor will eat with so much rising prices? But now what happened? If you compare the prices in 2013 to 2019, it is more than double. In everything, even rice, wheat, or essential gas, everything, diesel, petrol, everything, it rises. Once the diesel rises, all essential commodities prices rises. So, while criticizing Mr. Manmohan Singh in 2013, now you must at least stick to that. You must control the prices of all essential commodities, which you have utterly failed. Therefore, you have no now subject except construction of Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, except that subject, you have not got any other, this one, which helps the poor. So, please do that. I hope that at least now you will realize and announce caste-based census that BJP government will conduct in 2021. Please do that. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Telangana.